has begun. Life After the Fed tour has been started. Yeah, Life After the Fed tour. If y'all just now tuning in, I done 20 years on a 30-year federal prison sentence. I'm here today to tell y'all about my journey, and I brought some good brothers home with me from the incarceration situation and Life After the Fed tour. We just gonna talk and see how people doing after the feds, they experience doing the feds, um, they mindset doing the feds, and we here today. Who I got on the on platform with me today?
What's going on, man? What's going on, man?
What's
You
up,
got
Rock?
Rocco with you, man.
What's up,
Uh,
Rocco?
your people, man. How you doing, man?
Man,
How's
I'm
everything
blessed,
going, man?
man.
Let me turn some lights on in here, man.
Man, I'm blessed, man. I'm glad you stopped through.
Oh, man, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure, brother.
You know it's Father's Day, man. How the family doing?
Oh, man, everybody's spectacular, man. Everybody wonderful, man. Everybody got something going on.
Hey, for the people that don't know, right? Um, when you was you did Fed time, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
You did Fed time, and how long did you do, and what was your charge about?
I had a federal drug trafficking charge. I did 7 years on a 7 year sentence, day for day. Not a day early did I get to be released. I didn't receive any good time or anything of that nature. So,
So what jail? I know you've been to several jails in the federal prison system, right? Um, and when I seen you, you were fairly young. When I ran back into you, what people didn't know was that me and you have family history as well. And you you was in that kitchen. You was in the kitchen. I'll never forget. We was in what jail we was in?
we was in FCI Pekin. We was in Federal Correctional Institution Pekin, the medium high
Mm.
institution in Pekin, Illinois.
Oh, okay. So when I had ran into you, people didn't know that you was really like my family member. You know what I'm saying? We had, been together. Our families been united for so long, and
That's right.
to have a familiar face in that situation with me, man, it was kind of warm. It was like a warm feeling for me to see somebody that I was really familiar with, somebody that I know that no matter what, they had my back and I had their back, and our families was connected. You know what I'm saying? Our union of having us two strong families and being raised together under the same lineage, and it was a blessing, man, to see you. But it was hard. It was hurting. It hurt my heart to see you as well too. But one thing about it, when I seen you, man, I was happy to see you, man, and sad at the same time that you was in that situation.
Well, it definitely was bittersweet. It definitely was bittersweet, man, because you know, seeing somebody that's of your tribe when you are under those conditions is very consoling to you. Is something you familiar with, something you can relate to, because you in here with 3 and 4 thousand different personalities and different people from all walks of life, and when you know somebody that's familiar to you, it's just like when you go on a business trip or you go out of town or you go do anything. When you see somebody familiar, then you can always relate to home. That's home is where our heart is all the time, and
For
family
sure.
is
For sure.
family is a lot, man. It's always comforting to see your loved ones, but definitely not under those conditions.
So when you know, once we got once we got into the routine, me and you wasn't in the same housing unit, right?
Right.
So when you made it to the federal system, right? When you made it into the federal system, how have you ever been to the state before?
Yeah, I was in the state institution. I was at the level 5 in Licking, Missouri.
Okay. So how different was the state from the feds when you came into the federal system? And you fairly young at this time. You very young then. And what was your thoughts going through when we was at the table in the kitchen? You had just got there. What was your thoughts about being in the federal system at that point?
I was I thought that I was coming from the state. It's very different. It's very different environments. It's very different environments. Like it's things that go on in the state that state inmates are proud of doing, as opposed to when you get to the federal system, these things is frowned upon.
Right. Can you give us an example? Can you give us an example of what you mean on that?
Well, I mean, when you have a lot of homosexual activities going on in the state joint, those guys are comfortable doing them activities.
And outward
And,
with it.
and, and they don't hide those activities. Whereas
Right.
when you get in the federal system, you will be friends with somebody and you didn't know that they was partaking in these activities, and it's very hurtful. It's hurtful when you find out about these activities when you not on this type of time.
Man, that's crazy, ain't it, man? They hurt my feelings throughout my whole 20 years. That was the thing with me. I got my feelings hurt year after year, sometimes 2 and 3 times a year on that aspect alone, because we got so many different activities with testosterone with all the men. We always working out, we always playing handball, softball, we always trying to stay
Compete, we
active.
competing. Yeah,
We competing at all levels. So we look at each other as men at a high
right.
level. And then when you get, when you build a camaraderie with a brother from a different state and this and that, and you kind of have a mutual respect for them. And then when they find out that they got this flaw about themselves, when the lights get low, they want to go and get low. You know what I'm saying?
And yeah, it's absolutely hurtful when you fool when you know when you cool with somebody and this what type of time they on and you didn't recognize this. It make you feel some type of way on many different levels. But that's just life, man. Once you understand, man, that whatever you are is gonna come out in that jail, whether you be a militant, whether you be a radical, whether you be an undercover homosexual, a snitch, whatever it is, them walls have a them walls have a tendency to close in on people's character, and it's easy to spot out the major flaws. Nobody perfect. But no man is perfect. But major flaws and lines that you can't cross, things that telling on your friends and telling on what's going on in the jail when you partaking in the activities. And you know what I mean? These type of things are harmful because we talk about these things when we at the table and everybody is a denouncer of these things, but how can everybody denounce something when 88, 90% of them is partaking in it?
Okay. So when you came into the federal system, right, the politics is different from the state, right? How
Absolutely.
different? Because I know you had a problem. This one thing I can say. I know you had a problem with the structure of the federal system because you even bucked against me a lot of times. You bucked against me a lot, and to us, you was a. I know you had the mindset of what was your saying? You was a hostage. They
Oh yeah,
had you
most
as a
definitely.
hostage. You know what I'm saying? They had you as a hostage, like a POW or some shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
most definitely was a hostage. That's
Yeah,
right.
you was most definitely a hostage, and we all were. But you'll go in on us sometimes too. So on this channel, y'all, I want to let y'all know about Rock. He's no filter. He don't have no filter with nothing. He's straight up and down with everything he say and do. You know what I'm saying? And
But that
this
that gets you in a lot of trouble, man.
it
That
and it do, y'all, and it do. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about a few little stories, you know what I'm saying, the encounters we had along the way through our little journey of me and Rock, you know what I'm saying? But this life, this lifetime brotherhood right here, you know, even if I wanted to disown them as a family member, I can't because we stuck, we stuck, and we've been rocking from Pampers. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little
Well,
older, but you know,
one
ever
thing
since it came along.
one thing about history, that's something you can't get back with nobody. So if you can mend something and you ain't, you have a relationship with somebody, man, and they've been for the most part 100, everybody fuck up. Players fuck up. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But if you can mend that shit, mend that shit.
Right, for sure. Um, so I want to talk about a little incident that we had, and just you tell us a incident that kind of said this some bullshit. I'm finna fuck one of their ass up. Did you understand the politics when you came in? Even though I kind of when I met you at the table, we kind of get did I give you the ropes on how shit went?
Well, when I came in, I didn't really need a chauffeur or no ropes because when I first came to the jail, the first thing that I met was the person who make the knives.
Oh, okay,
So I
okay.
didn't need any, I ain't need no assistance. I got acquainted with him and I sent some money to him. You know how it go, and I
So
got
you
I
had a
got me some
knife by the
protection
time.
from
So
myself.
did you had the knife? I know you didn't have the knife at the table when I met you because you
I
was
had
in
a
bus
knife at the
paint.
tape. I had the knife the first day I got to the jail.
Rock. You kind of had, you had that nonchalant, you know. I didn't see fear when I
Well,
seen you,
I
even though
well
you
I
was
just
young as
because
hell.
that's because I just left the level 5. I just left Lincoln, Missouri State Penitentiary, where it goes down daily. So when I got to it's only new faces, same predicament. A jail is a jail.
Right, right, right.
So
So
when I
what
got
housing
to the new
you
when I
was
got to
in
the new jail, I made the same prerequisites that I did that them older dudes showed me when I first
with the
got. So I
politic?
already had, just because I was young in age doesn't mean I was young in mentality.
Right, right. You definitely had a older mentality as well, but you definitely had a renegade mindset as well, you know. And from the outside looking in, we had a lot of not well, I ain't gonna say a lot of issues, you know what I'm saying? But it was a lot of times that you was ready to push the button. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? It was a
yeah.
lot of times that you
Well,
was
it
about
it
to
it,
push the button.
it was only because of the way that I see people move and the things that they do, and they try to act a certain way with me. I'm not gonna allow that at all. If you nice to the police, you can't come try to be tough with me. Cause I'm not nice to the police. I'm mean to the police like they mean to me. And it's nothing personal. They got a job and I got a job. My job is to keep them with a job. Used to be. So when I see people being nice to them and, try to be tough with me, I would be a little more uh what's the word I'm looking for? Assertive with them type of dudes. Apply a little more pressure.